If this one message would change, Israel's whole dynamic and I think PR and the way Israel is perceived and the conflict is perceived could significantly shift. What is that thing? Melanie Phillips shares this in a conversation with Jonathan Tobin on JNS TV. Have a watch of this really important point she makes.
Did you say that the biggest danger to Jews in your book are the sort of anti-Jewish and anti-Zionist Jews?
Yes, indeed. They are leading the charge, and they are messing with everyone's minds because what they've done in America in particular, not so much in Britain, but in America in particular, what they've done, which is so pernicious, is to say that values which are actually inimical to Judaism are Jewish values. This is the whole Tikkun Olam so-called movement, and they have to be called out. They have to be called out. People have to say, Jews have to say to these Jews, enough of this. You are doing enormous damage. You may not care about the future of the Jewish people, but we do, and we are calling you out for what you are doing. We have to say that. People have to start stepping up to the plate. And I think, this may sound fanciful, but I think that, we're living in a society in which so much is not said, so much is suppressed for all kinds of different reasons. And so much could be changed overnight by people saying the right kind of thing in the right kind of way to the right kind of people. It's quite simple. And I think that much of the reason why Israel itself, the state of Israel, has lost the argument so badly, part of the reason, is because it's never understood that. And the defenders of Israel never understood that. They're all playing defense all the time. Why are you being so horrible to us? We're the victims. Well, no, you've got to start sticking it to them. You've got to start going on to the offense. You've got to start telling people, you are doing this damage. You are doing this harm. This is your call. We are calling you out. I think you can change an atmosphere virtually overnight by doing that, actually. And people draw courage and strength from seeing other people doing, just like Elon Musk. Okay, Elon Musk is, sui generis. He is uniquely placed because he is so wealthy and he's so powerful. But nevertheless, what happened in Britain is very, very instructive. He gave people permission. A lot of people were thinking this stuff, and they were too frightened to say anything. And suddenly you got this amazingly powerful man saying it. And I have to say, I've been critical of what I've written about Elon Musk because some of the things he said were simply wrong, badly wrong. But nevertheless, the basic thing he was saying, which is that Britain, has lost the plot over its acceptance of Islamization, is basically what he was saying. That is entirely correct. And because he was powerful and said it, everyone went, oh, yeah, right. Yes, absolutely, and started piling in. People just need empowerment. They need to feel safe in saying stuff. We collectively, as a society, have not made people feel safe. On the contrary, everyone's run in the opposite direction. So I think it's actually, I'm not understating it. I'm not understating the difficulties, some of which you have raised about, the difficulty of as it were, preaching religion and all the rest of it. These are formidable difficulties, formidable. But a great deal could be done quite simply and quite quickly by the right kind of leaders saying the right kind of things.
Absolutely. So true. And I'll tell you how I think this applies specifically to Israel. I mean, it's a bit like the emperor's got no clothes. It just takes someone to actually state the obvious, and then suddenly everyone else feels they have permission to do so. We've been conned into so many lies in society that people just believe them simply because the masses believe them, the elites believe them and tell them you have to believe them to get on with life and not to be cancelled. And people are terrified. There's a culture of fear to say the wrong thing. But I'll tell you where I think that specifically exists with regard to the Israeli-Arab conflict, which is that all the things that the world points the finger at Israel about, whether it's occupation, stealing land, the checkpoints, blockades, war, whatever it is, settlements, every single one of the things that they lament that Israel does to the Arabs are self-inflicted by the Arabs who choose war at every turn, who choose hate at every turn. And it takes courage to say that. People think, oh God, I can't say that. You have to say, oh no, it really is bad what Israel's doing. But, they have to protect themselves. But I accept it's so bad. No. This is self-inflicted. There would be no need for any violence throughout the entirety of the 100-year conflict had the Arabs chosen peace. And the other thing that takes some confidence and courage to say is to state to the world that indulges in the notion that the Palestinian cause is based on a legitimate grievance for nationalism and self-determination and human rights. We should say clearly, just as they said the emperor's got no clothes, just state clearly, no, it's actually based on a hateful ideology that has no interest in self-determination, because if they did, this would have been solved many, many decades ago, because there's been countless offers on the table for that. And that what this is actually based on is simply a hatred of Jewish people, equality with Jews who now finally have sovereignty, just like many Arab and Islamic countries do. And it shakes their, the narrative of Islamist world domination when the Jewish people finally restore sovereignty to their ancient homeland. But fine, it's going to have to shake your ideology. Sorry, you're going to have some kind of ideological maturing and acceptance of the Jewish people living in their God-given homeland. And we have to state that clearly. We have to state clearly that this is not based on legitimate grievance. It's based on a hateful ideology, the Palestinian cause. And I think when you see people saying that with clarity, interviewers, members of the public, people who are sitting on the fence, even people who are hostile to Israel, they respect you more for doing so. And so I think we're starting to see more of a shift where people are starting to wake up and realize they have the ability to say things. And if we reach enough of a critical mass, then this truth will pervade everywhere. So that's why we're doing what we're doing on JTV. And if you agree with what we're doing, please be involved. Like, share, comment, and do your bit as well to speak the truth. Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.